Hello, welcome to the 2022 Chinese Horoscope series where I will be sharing with you each week 2 animal horoscopes forecasts for the year 2022. Now for today, for a start, I am actually going to share with you the summary and which animal will win the race in the year 2022. And in today's episode, I'll be sharing with you about the year 2022, which is the young water tiger year. What it will bring to this world, especially from the last 2 years of COVID-19 pandemic. What should we be expecting? For a start, I will be also sharing which animal will win the race in the year 2022, what you should be looking out for each of the animal signs in each of your Bazi pillar. Remember, I ever shared before, for each of our Bazi, there will be the year animal, the month animal, the day, as well as the hour animal. So it's not just about which year you are born in, it's also about the animal branch in each of your aspect of life. And I will share with you each week 2 animal horoscopes on what to expect in the various aspects of your life. And I look forward to seeing you in my channel and see you in the next segment where I'll begin to share the summary for 2022. When we look at the year 2022, like I mentioned earlier, it is the water tiger year. For today's episode, I'll be sharing with you what does the year 2022 bring about and what are the elements within, as well as some of the auspicious and inauspicious stars for each of the 12 animal horoscopes in general, and what are the animals that have got the recognition stars, the helpful people stars. And this will kickstart my entire series of the 12 animal horoscope forecasts all the way to Chinese New Year, where I'll also share with you the feng shui auspicious and inauspicious sector every single week. So I look forward to seeing you in my channel, and if you have not subscribed, please remember to click on the subscribe button and on the notifications bell. And if you do like the episode, please remember to click on the like button so that whatever that you found is useful will also be shared with other viewers on YouTube. What are the stars in each of these 12 animal horoscopes in the year 2022? Before we do that, please remember to scan this QR code or go to bazicalculator.janetyong.com and get your Bazi chart. As shown here, once you key in your date, month, year and time of birth, you will have a year branch, a monthly branch, a day branch and an hourly branch. So it is not just your year of birth, because since young I've always wondered how can everyone born in the same year, for instance the year of the tiger, have the same kind of luck. So here it is, we actually have different mixtures of elements for each person based on the date, month, year and time of birth. As shown earlier, can you remember each person can have up to how many Chinese zodiac signs or animal horoscope in their chart? If your answer is up to 4, congratulations, that's correct, we can have up to 4. Usually, if we look at Chinese traditional forecasts, you look at the year animal only, you are actually only looking at 1 out of the 8 Chinese characters. So it only represents 12.5% accuracy in terms of the forecast for yourself and the year itself. So to have a better understanding, you should actually have your complete Bazi chart as shown here, where you have the year, the month, the day as well as the hour, where we call in each pillar there are the heavenly stems and earthly branch. So when you have 4 heavenly stems and 4 earthly branches, you would actually have 8 Chinese characters, which is the direct translation into Mandarin called Bazi. And when we look at each of these animal branches, what does it represent? In the year, if you have that particular animal branch, for instance, this person is born in the year of goat. So when you're reading actually the stars, the forecast for those in the year of goat, you should be looking at it from the perspective of what's happening in the bigger company environment, bigger industry environment, as well as if they would like to understand more about their relationship with their grandparents or boss's boss. If you're looking at the month, it's really about the immediate superior, about the immediate department, or your relationship with your parents. And this is also the branch that we look at as to whether there will be a change of your career or change of your thinking, especially from a career perspective as well. And in terms of day, really governs your relationship actually with your colleagues, with your peers, with your partner. And at home, it will be with either your spouse, or if you're not married, then it will be actually with your boyfriend or girlfriend. And in terms of the hour, the animal branch there that you should be reading for would be more of your relationship with either your subordinates, people younger than you, and if you have children, your relationship with your children. And as you can see from this particular chart, when we are looking at stars, luck, and everything else, it's really actually from an individual's person's perspective of the world, of their relationship with the world, a change of their mindset if there are clashes, and basically that's the framework and mindset you should be looking at when looking at the forecast. Nothing is cast in stone. It is just to give you an insight of what's going to happen. So, which animal will win the race in the year 2022? Coming tops are these 5 animal horoscopes, which are the rooster, the pig, the rabbit, the snake, and the goat. So congratulations if you have one of these Chinese zodiac signs or Chinese earthly branches or animal horoscope, either in your year, month, day, or hour. Fret not if you don't see this in any of your chart, because we have the next set of animals which actually have average in terms of luck wise: horse, ox, tiger, and monkey. And the last batch, the dog, the rat, and the dragon, is basically one that you need to stay focused, be resilient, and especially if you have the dog, the rat, or the dragon in your monthly branch, meaning if you're born in the months of October, in the months of December, or in the months of April, these would be the months where maybe from a career perspective in 2022 there are no auspicious stars, but this race here is really just talking about if there are additional aid and help to aid you to do better in career itself. It does not represent your luck if you are willing to put in the effort. It does not represent the outcome you will see at the end of 2022, because at the end of the day, whatever that we are saying here is just to give you an insight. Even if you have the best of luck, you have the rooster in your monthly branch, and you are not someone who wants to take on responsibilities or the recognition, then you will not really see anything moving forward. It's just probably a pretty smooth year for you. So that's something that you really need to remember. This will be a snapshot of what I'll be sharing with you for each of the animal horoscope signs for the next 6 weeks. In each week, I'll focus on 2 animal signs, starting with rat and ox next week. Therefore, if you'd like to find out more, please remember to click on the subscribe button and the notifications bell so that you can receive the notifications when I release the episode every Friday at 9 p.m. Singapore time plus 8 hours GMT. Let's take a look at a summary of the stars. So for those with horse, monkey, pig, rooster, congratulations. Especially if you have this either in your month animal branch or the hour animal branch, you will see wealth and opportunities. Because if you remember, I mentioned earlier on, the month branch governs your career prospects, and the hour actually generally governs our actions and therefore our investments itself. I will dwell more into each of these animal horoscope signs as I mentioned earlier on in the weeks coming up. And those that will enjoy career recognition and power, it will be those with ox, rooster, horse, and monkey, especially if you are born with these animal horoscopes in your month pillar or month animal branch. The next set would enjoy helpful people, those with the ox, the rabbit, the snake, goat, and rooster. And depending on where these animal horoscopes come into your chart, you will enjoy them from different perspectives. And I will explain more when I get into the individual animal horoscope signs. And as mentioned in quite a few of my earlier videos in the Bazi series itself, when we talk about helpful people, it is not just sitting there and waiting for someone to come to your help. Because if you remember, the helpful people or opportunities or luck will only come to those that are ready. So if you do have these Chinese animal horoscope signs within your chart, it's critical for you to identify whether is it a skill set development area or a particular area in terms of your business, your home, your relationship, your career that you need help with, and actively seek help from people. Because if not, sitting there, especially in a COVID situation where a lot of us are stuck at home, nobody is going to come to your aid because nobody knows, right? And those who will enjoy great communication luck, networking, and travel luck would be those with ox, rabbit, monkey, and pig. And especially for monkey, because you have the traveling horse star, if you actually have what we call a social media presence, or you're an influencer or speaker of some kind, this will be a great year for you to basically push your recognition and following to the next level. Now, let me share with you the two animal horoscopes that have what we call the intelligence, creativity, or the talent star. So we have the tiger, which actually has the Wen Chang intelligence star, the dog, which actually has Hua Gai, or what we call the talent star. So both of these animal horoscopes, whether it appears in your year, your month, or your hour, will greatly benefit you if you are into literary or study pursuits. And if you have the dog, basically because the Hua Gai or talent star is also a star that requires you to basically have time to yourself, to explore your hobbies, to self-reflect. So do take time out, reflect on your learnings and lessons if you are going through them. These are basically the animal horoscopes in terms of summary of stars. Now you'll notice that there are two animal horoscopes that I have not mentioned, and those are with the rat and dragon. And why is this the case? Because the rat and dragon does not have any auspicious stars aiding them in the year 2022. But like I mentioned earlier on, these are basically insights as to what are the external influences that will come. It doesn't determine the outcome, because if you remember, we can never control the external events, in this case, the auspicious stars that are coming through. But we can basically control our thoughts, our action, and therefore the outcome may be different. And especially if you spend time in the auspicious sectors and avoid some of the inauspicious sectors that I'll be discussing in these 2022 forecast series itself. Now let's move on to the 2022 Bazi Chart. What can we see for the year 2022? What you will see is actually a year based on the 4th of February itself, a young water tiger year that I mentioned. It's also in the month of young water tiger. The day is that of young earth rat, and the hour of change to 2022 is basically the tiger hour of young wood tiger. Now at a glance, you will notice that there's a lot of water as well as the wood element. So what does it really mean? Water and wood elements will be representative of both the action and power elements within the chart in 2022. So it is a year where a lot of people will be taking action. People will want to take maximum opportunities to gather the wealth, because the wealth, as in shown in the two young water stems, is there are opportunities, especially since we are slowly coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. At the time of shooting this particular episode, the Omicron variant is basically rearing its head. In my 2021 series, I mentioned that quarter 4 has too much of the water element, and therefore there will be a lot of fear. So same thing in first and second quarter of 2022, there will still be a lot of fear. And with the wood element, what we call the 7 killings profiles, the warrior profiles, is really trying to overcome and conquer our fear itself. You will also see there's hidden water element and full of wood element, the hour pillar of young wood tiger. So what does the power element mean? It means not only are people taking action, sometimes out of fear because of the water element, but they're also trying to get power, recognition, so there will be a bit of power struggles. There's also the fire element that it's actually hidden within all the 3 tiger stems. Because it's hidden and this is young fire, so it could represent some natural disasters, especially volcano belt areas. If you are staying in those areas, please take special care. Ensure that you have protection at home, spend time in the auspicious sectors, and watch out for not knocking, drilling, cutting in what we call the Tai Shui, 3 killings, as well as the 5 yellow area in 2022. Overall, the chart lacks what we call the metal or output element. Output or metal element in 2022, it's really about persuading, about using intelligence to have good negotiations. And with so much action involved, as well as the power struggles as shown in all the young wood elements with the 7K or warrior influences in the chart itself, it's a year, although there is action, there's wealth opportunities, but there will be plenty of power struggles, and therefore the political climate will not ease off as well. That's a summary of the year 2022, and if the water and wood elements are your favorable elements in your chart, you will generally enjoy pretty good luck. And I hope that you have enjoyed what I've shared in today's episode on the summary of which animal horoscope wins the race, as well as 2022 chart. I look forward to seeing you next week on my channel, where I'll share more about what's coming for those born with the red and ox within their chart. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.